Well, we are jumping into the first game of this series, and spawning down in the lower left-hand position, we've got the blue Protoss player representing Vega Squadron. It's DmC.
And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Overgrowth as the Red Terran. He plays for TeamLiquid.net and needs to win this series to guarantee him a spot in the grand final. He's definitely heavy favorite, but that doesn't mean he's guaranteed. Let's see if he can do it. It's Bunny.
So, this is actually the only TvP series we have in the entire tournament.
That's right, yeah. Bunny hasn't played any other Protosses, so that's another, even if he does start as a pretty big favorite here, that is technically another spanner to throw into the works here, in that he hasn't had to play against another Protoss.
Now, in terms of openings and what they are doing, nothing crazy going on yet, which is not too much of a surprise considering only 1 minute 30 in. But yeah, draw us up. Run us through why this game is so important in terms of who finishes second to meet Scarlet.
Right, so here is the situation as it currently stands. We go by head-to-head to determine who takes the place in the event of a tiebreak. Now, if Bunny ends up winning this, he'll go 3-2, which technically puts him on a tie with both Snoot and Nurchio. However, in their heads-to-heads, Bunny has beaten both Snoot and Nurchio. He just comfortably goes through in second place, thanks to those great head-to-head wins. On the other hand, if DmC successfully defeats Bunny, well, that means there are only 2 players on 3-2. We've got Liquid Snoot and Acer's Nurchio. And because Snoot beat Nurchio in their head-to-head yesterday by a map score of 2-1, so still the slimmest of margins, he would then, in that situation, be the one to go on to face Scarlet.
Now, that means the pressure is really on Bunny, because his fate is in his own hands. Everyone else can sit back now, and they just have to watch from the sidelines. They have to look and say, okay, well, my fate rests in DmC's hands, and I've got to say, if I was on the sidelines, I would be favouring Bunny. Obviously, he's done very, very well in this tournament. He's done very well consistently over the last coming months. Rotterdam yesterday actually said that, in his opinion, Bunny is the most improved foreigner of 2014, and I would wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that, hands down.
DmC, he's on the start of his journey in terms of high-profile events. He hasn't really made a huge name for himself. He doesn't have a Liquipedia page, for example. But taking a game off Bunny, just even competing in this tournament, has done a lot to raise his profile. Lots of people have been asking, who is DmC? And once you get those questions asking, your name is just floating about as someone who is obviously making a bit more of a mark, which is good for him.
Yeah, he beat a good number of people in the qualifier to make it here, and took out a couple of Terrans actually in Lilicanine and Marine Lord as well to boot. So in my opinion, Lilicanine and Marine Lord, they're both good players, obviously not on Bunny's level, but you still have to take them out to get here. And I think that even if Bunny wins this series, he's certainly not going to find it walk in the park easy.
No, I don't either. And I want to actually touch on the fact that DmC was able to take down Lilicanine, because that is an incredibly hard game to actually win. Lilicanine is insanely good. He consistently takes games off some of the top players in things like Go for SC2, which I cast frequently. So winning that game is actually very, very important for DmC, and maybe even in his confidence here.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's he is used to be to play against very, very good Terran players. Frankly, players of all races, but Terran players in Go 4 as well. And like you say, he regularly beats some of the big names. Unfortunately, they're not quite as high profile. So some people might have heard of him and gone, "Oh yeah, I knew him before. He was cool." And unfortunately, he hasn't done that well in this tournament so far, but he has the capability of beating these guys out. And I think that's something that shouldn't be overlooked here. We did go, oh, he's 0-4, let's write him off. Write him off at your peril. He might be the underdog, but he's not.
Oh, that scan is so money. Sorry to interrupt you there, but Bunny sees the blink.
Ah, very, very nice, yeah. And saw the robotics facility pop down as well. That literally does just see everything.
That is very unfortunate right there. That is a bit of a pain. So yeah, DmC now has lost the element of surprise, which can be just ever so important. What do you do now as DmC? You've got to commit to it because you've already got Blink coming down. It's just maybe not as heavily.
Yeah, it's Well, Bunny's still got Stim on the way now as well, and he's going to be producing units. So it's not like DmC can take his foot off the gas and go, well, I guess I'll use this as a mask to take a third base or something like that. Because, you know, with Stim and the number of units coming out from Bunny, guess what? A potential counterattack. It could actually be really good. Bunny's also got a 6 Marine squad over here in the bottom right-hand corner. He's going to be coming up and potentially scouting for any bases over here. And you know what? If he doesn't see him, it's also a good opportunity for a medevac to swing by and do a drop as well. So, in short, DmC is going to be forced to make a bunch of units right now. The question is if he holds them back or if he still tries to do an attack.
Blink is still getting chrono boosted. We've got a couple more Stalkers coming on through. Only 3 gateways worth of production though, so this isn't a massive commitment. If this was a 2-base Blink all-in or something like that, we'd be seeing 6-7 gates straight away off the bat. So we know that DmC is playing this a lot safer now. He has been scanned. Bunny's also in a hugely safe position. He's got 2 bunks at the front. A missile tried to take down the observer. Also putting a bunk on the high ground. Not taking any risks.
Well, both of these players are acting in response to the other right now. DmC, in response to the scan, knows that Bunny can see basically a potential Blink all-in, has opted only to go for the 3 gateways, and has also decided, at least initially, to keep the Stalkers at home. He's actually going for a prod now to hopefully keep Bunny in his base a while longer. Bunny, on the other hand, you see the 2 bunkers on the low ground and the 1 on the high ground. He's getting ready for an all-out assault. So what DmC wants to do right now is make it look like he's about to Blink all-in, but then hopefully move backwards without actually killing off too much of his army. And just keeping Bunny in his base as long as possible while the 3rd goes down. But look at that 6 Marine hit squad. It's now ended up in the natural expansion. And yes, we do have the cannon on the Nexus going down, but he spotted the 3rd base go down as well. So he knows it's not an all-in now.
The thing is, a lot has already been done. The 6 worker kills is really nice for Bunny. But if we look at his tech, that's somewhat limited. His starport is only just beginning now in response to, obviously, the Blink play. But the robotic facility is down. It has been seen by Bunny. That's the other important thing in that little Marine hit squad. It scouted the fact that Colossus tech is coming out quickly. What does Bunny do in response to this, knowing that he's not going to be able to produce many Vikings early?
Well, we've got the, I mean, we do have the Planetary Nexus going down at the natural expansion for DmC, right? So, a potential counterattack against the 3rd wouldn't be out of the question here, especially since, at least for now, Bunny's army supply is just comfortably ahead that of DmC. He obviously needs to start his 3rd command center as well, but the alternative to that would be, actually, I'm going to mass so many units that by the time you have your 3rd Colossus out, I'm going to have what will hopefully be at least a Viking or 2. I'm also going to have a ridiculously huge bio army. If he commits to that kind of route, though, Bunny basically has to do a lot of damage with his first attack. Otherwise, he falls behind. So, let's see what he chooses here.
The first Colossus is now out, the second one coming too. Extended Thermal Lance isn't finished yet, so Bunny being quite high in the Marauder count is very important for him. Marauders match the range of Colossus until Extended Thermal Lance is finished, so it's going to be a lot harder on the positioning of DmC to be able to take a fight until he's got that range upgrade completed for his Colossi. DmC, though, isn't moving out anytime soon. He's got his 3rd, he's wanting to sit back and stay nice and bolstered.
Yep. So, in short, by the way, we've seen Bunny is actually going to be going for that 3rd base now. We can see the command center just comfortably planted there. And it's a case of, if he didn't do that and he really wants to get rid of it, it's, well, he did, DmC did his little attack so he can get his 3rd base up. Can I cancel the 3rd base? Or can I take it off? Is basically what he's trying to do right now. And I'm not confident he can do that with the Colossi there, because the number of sentries will just zone that out quite comfortably.
Looking at Bunny right now, he's just trying to find any avenue to pressure in, but Extended Thermal Lance is done for the Colossus. He's not going to be able to do anything at the moment. He just needs to stay being aggressive. Note DmC does have this observer chasing around Bunny's forward forces. Interestingly, Bunny hasn't actually seen that and scanned to kill it, which...
yeah, it's been constantly in the shadow of the medevac, interestingly, when he's been moving in that direction. I wonder if he spots it now. No, still not. So yeah, the observer's still comfortably with the army.
Good times for, of course, DmC there. Drop loading up. Okay, there we go. Finally, that observer dies at long last.
Wow, and that's a big drop as well, joining 2 medevacs from way back from home as well. Unfortunately, a 2nd observer will immediately spot before boosted medevacs coming into the main. He's just seen that the Stalkers just blinked to try and intercept, so there is no other blink available for at least the next 10 seconds. And here we go, big drop inside the main base, killing off that Zealot Warp, and he really just needs that to buy time right now. The Stalkers have to blink forward here. Will they pick off a medevac? Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter though, because it's the 3rd base where the action's coming through. Bunny wanted to force a big reaction from DmC. He's gonna snipe that 3rd Nexus. Easy peasy. with this split off of his main force. Takes down a couple of probes to boot, and he is one happy Terran player.
That's what we were talking about beforehand, wasn't it? Like, we know that DmC feigned that attack with the Blink Stalkers so that he can get the third down. Bunny scouted that, and he goes, right, that's the card you've played. I'm going to try and make sure that third, you basically don't profit from it. And that quad drop there, well, I mean, it was a massive distraction. And one that had to be taken seriously. And it looks like DmC's paid the price.
Yeah, dealing with that any other way would have been so difficult for DmC. He split. You would have had to have split your army perfectly to make that work. But
well, he's going to try and return the favor.
He has to. He's pretty much all in at this stage. There isn't many other choices there. Looks like we're getting a little bit of lag issues. Are you getting that as well?
I am. In fact, on my screen, it looks like it's me. But
yeah, on my screen, it looks like me as well.
Is the server dropping us?
I really hope it isn't.
Oh, nuts. If it is, apologies, guys. It looks... this is something that happened yesterday while we were playing on ladder, actually. It happened once or twice. If it is, it looks like we'll have to resume from replay. But it's been a very dynamic game so far, hasn't it, Madals?
Yeah, we'll give it a couple more seconds, and then we'll just leave, and hopefully we can resume this game. Considering both of us simultaneously got lagged out from the server when we're still on Skype to each other, does suggest that it may be a server issue rather than us. I'm trying to peek to see if anyone suddenly messaged me on Skype. No, it doesn't look like they've had. I've had to hide you for a second, but no. I reckon we'll just give up on this, and hopefully we can get this back going. We can message an admin anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes from here. So it looks like, well, in this game number one, it looks like, yeah, I mean, it's coming towards a pretty epic conclusion here. DmC sort of in the middle of trying his best to wedge his way into Bunny's third base and return the favor. He's got several Colossi, and I think there were only 2 Vikings out on the field at the time the game started lagging. So it is all to play for. Potentially a nice chokeable location for sentries and Colossi. Bunny, I'm not sure he can hold his third. It's going to be interesting to find out.
I think if he does, he's pretty much home free at this point, because DmC, he's had to go all in. He didn't remake the third Nexus immediately, which basically just says he's not planning on doing that. He needs to at least kill Bunny's third, probably win the game overall. Just waiting to see if our lovely admin is about. He may have not been prepared for that. I wasn't, so I may end up having to just quickly remake this game or recover the game. Of course, a brilliant feature. I remember when recover game wasn't a thing. That was sad.
It's incredible, and the first version of it as well, where it was like playing through the entirety of the game in massive fast forward, and it was like, players, please look away now. And it's definitely a lot better these days. Right. So have we got the admin and the players out yet? I'm actually still in the game just in case, but I'm guessing everyone's out?
Yeah, everyone's out.
All right, cool. Let me hop out as well.
It was showing you as out anyway.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was still in. Apparently I have the option to surrender. Woo, go me.
Right. Have you got the invite to the game?
No.
Okay, let's try that again. You've broken it, Jorisar.
I've broken BattleNet. There we go. Invited me to recover a game.
Right. Hey, everyone's in, aren't they?
Looks like it. Replay info. We have admin. I think that's everybody.
We should be able to go from 14-minute marks, and now we've got to wait for this all to go through. Big shout out to the sponsors while we're here. That's a nice time to do it. Let's Kung Fu, Agro.gg, Plantronics Gaming, and of course everyone who subscribes and donates to my content. You make all of this sort of thing possible, so big shout out there. We are just waiting for the game to recover. We have to wait for just a little tad. Stare at Kerrigan's face. I don't like the recover game screen. It scares me a bit. I'll show you stream. Look at that intense stare. That stare is terrifying.
You know what it is? It's not just the gaze from the eyes. It's the fact that there's some sort of smoke coming out of them as well. It's more like, well, I'm gazing at you, but actually it's because I'm dead because my head's being soldered from the inside out. It's
you know what
really
it is?
Kind of
I've worked out what the gaze is. You know the angry mum look? When you were a kid and your mum just gave you that glare, just like you are in so much trouble right now. It's the angry mum look, just with added smoke, which of course as a kid you imagine does come out. Although in cartoon fashion it usually comes out of like your parents' ears as opposed to their eyeballs. I think it would be far more terrifying in cartoon. If people's eyes smoked when they were angry in cartoons, that would be traumatic for children.
So as part of my setup, I'm actually... What's stranger for me is that you guys can't see it, but on my setup here, I'm actually looking at the replay on a 42-inch screen. So Kerrigan's eyes are like larger than mine right now. It's peering into my soul. It's slightly scary.
Joris, everyone is saying you're from America. Please correct them.
I'm from America. That's okay. I get America all the time. Here's the funny thing. When I go over to the States, guys, everyone thinks I'm British. That's the really weird bit. I have... oh.
A what?
It says game paused, but DmC left the game.
Yeah, I'm saying that... I guess that he dropped as well. So I guess we'll resume from replay.
Rewind. All right, let's go ahead.
Yet again.
Yeah, that's right, guys. I'm not actually American. When I head to the West Coast and when I head to Chicago, everybody seems to think I'm British, which I think is quite amusing because I think I'm nowhere close to British. But when I'm over here, people say I'm American. So go figure. I'm actually from Hong Kong. Strictly speaking, I'm Chinese Australian. No, I haven't cast in Kanto yet, if anyone's asking. I might in the future. I haven't decided. That could be quite fun. Right, let's give it a go.
I'm going to try it slightly earlier this time, just 10 seconds before.
What, you think the replay was telling the future?
Yeah. I'm just going to try like 10 seconds earlier. Nothing should have happened 10 seconds earlier, should it?
DmC's moving towards a third base. Bunny's moving to protect it. Both of them know a fight's going to happen. An extra 10 seconds is not going to give anybody an unfair advantage. Plus, we've got force fields. Hey-oh! So, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Fingers crossed it actually works this time.
Yeah.
Also, a nice little bit of air filler time about Kerrigan's eyes can't really be reused.
Oh, not again! Not again! No, I don't want to watch it again!
You just kind of can't stop looking at them. You're just like, if I turn up... It's like
they're literally at my eye level in front of me.
They're mine too. You know the weeping angels from Doctor Who, where when you look away, they move closer to you?
Yes.
Until they kill you. I kind of get that impression from Kerrigan on screen right now. That if I stop looking, like she'll jump out the screen and just murder me.
People will see it on webcam. So, like, everyone watching at home is actually keeping you alive right now because she would otherwise be seen.
Exactly. That is...
I'll tell you what I can do. I haven't actually brought this out all day. I'm in a festive... There we go. Yeah!
The joys of green screening.
This is actually my favorite background.
I like the one Pikachu circling.
I know, it's great. And for those of you, of course, who have followed my casting for a long time, sort of before I went off and did MLG, DreamHack, IEM, and all that, I had my bedroom as a background as well, which is always quite funny. It was because I didn't have a green screen, I was just casting in front of my bed, but then I got a green screen and still put an image of my bed on it, because why
Consistency.
not?
Branding and consistency is important.
All about consistency. I think on my Facebook fan page, my profile picture on my Facebook fan page, which is /Jorisar, is still me in front of my bed. It was like one of the original photos. I've never changed it. All right, the game's paused. It mid-scan. This looks vaguely okay.
Okay, let's jump back to the game.
All right, ready?
Okay, looks like everyone's ready. Everyone's here.
Everybody.
Wait for it.
Is this happening? Yeah, I'm fine. Should I tell them I'm...
3, 2, 1. Oh, we get the nice 3, 2, 1.
2, 1. Go, 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 go!
So, to catch everyone up, DmC just lost his third base after defending a quad drop in the main base, while Bunny pushed into his third. He's now trying to counter-attack with quite a large army and a lot of Colossus. Bunny is just floating away, though, taking things nice and safely with a much larger overall force, but not too many Vikings at only 4. Boom, that's your recap. Jorisar, what's going to happen?
Yep, that's right. I think that extra sort of 5 to 10 seconds of time let Bunny lift up a little bit earlier than the others would have. And here we go. Here's the big fight. Decent force field to start off with. Only 4 Vikings versus 3 Colossi, meaning a lot of the bio is actually getting shredded. But the Stalkers are targeting down the Vikings. The second Colossus is going down now, and there are basically only Stalkers left. I think not targeting down the Vikings and letting those Colossi die mean that when these force fields die out, it's not going to be enough. GG! And Liquid Bunny, ladies and gentlemen, wins game number 1 of this final best of 3 series and is 1 game away from facing Scarlet in the grand final.